Welcome to another episode of Alternate Lives Matter. I am joined by Kristen Nicole. On this episode, we clear the toxic masculinity pertaining to success. I end up channeling Donald Trump, and Kristen Nicole puts the Excalibur sword back into the ground so that we can transmute that energy into success and abundance for all of us as a collective, both in the past and now. Hi, I'm Jenifer Krause, and I am welcomed by or with Kristen Nicole. Kristen Nicole of...
Hello there, sunshine.
Thank you, Kristen.
Yes, thank you, Jenifer.
We are on a roll right now. We are doing, you can see I have my sweatpants on. Business up top and chilling in the bottom.
It's like the Melita clothing.
I'm totally outed. Should we start over? No. This is authentically us. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are doing an episode of Alternate Lives Matter, and we've already done Present Lives Matter episode and a Past Lives Matter episode, and we're now taking it to the next level, which is the Alternate Lives Matter, which is collective consciousness work. So we took it presently, which is our individual lives. We took it to past lives, where we talked about our versions of us as gods and goddesses. And now we're going to do collective work around the same theme, which has been a fear of success. And now we're going to do that. Every time I say fear of success, the word that comes into my head, that pops into my head, is jealousy. And I started doing this morning before you came over. And of course, we want to identify where these things are coming from, right? The root cause of it, in order to change the energy and transform it, transmute it into something better. But we have to figure out what the root cause is. And it always comes back to the self, or the collectives or whatever. So as a collective, fear of success, and then jealousy. And what I got this morning was that it's all, let me see what I wrote down, because it comes from
resentment.
Well, what I got was, it's on what I wrote. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know. So we both have so many notebooks and so many papers. Not feeling good within themselves as a collective. So I know at this point in time, on a personal level, I feel good within myself. And I feel like I can finally say that today, because I'm right, because
it's taken a long time to get there, but I finally feel worth, I finally feel confidence, I finally feel like the truest version of myself.
Right. So
very close to
so we worked on the stuff as individuals, generational stuff, and now we're doing collectives. So as a collective, not feeling good within themselves, and I got that it was because people feel separate. I guess it's kind of all the same thing, but what do you think about not feeling good within themselves? Like, what does that bring to you?
Brings two things. The separate that you just said is like a separation from creation, and the fall and everything that caused, but also like in just my schemings of knowledge, I've done a lot of like psychological research, and envy is actually a form of resentment in something within yourself. So it's something that you dislike or resent within yourself, either because of yourself or because of an external person.
Oh, what I just saw when you were saying that was actually a reverberation of the toxic masculine energy in our collective consciousness that now is feeling bad for being successful because of what has happened as a result of that power control. I said toxic, right? Power, control, manipulation, and destruction of the earth because of success. Not that all toxic, not that that is everything, but that's like a piece of the collective that is coming up right now.
Well, and then that just like lit for me in my mind all of the natural devastation that's happening in the areas where they're more populated or where people are driven there by greed. Like Yellowstone is flooding, and they started that whole new ticket system within the last couple of years that's been driving people there and keeping the natives away because it's overpopulated. Wow. San Francisco and Santa Cruz are flooding and literally underwater, and you think that that is like one of the highest gross income per capita in like the United States, and like the cost of everything. New York, Buffalo got hit with that insane ice storm.
Yeah, that was wild.
But I wonder.
Well, yes, we've caused that, right? To some extent. I feel like we can talk about weather on a whole nother thing, because that's like, it's in my experience channeling, we are responsible for the weather because it is an energy, and it's also not necessarily bad, which is a whole nother thing.
No. My thought on that was just that the Mother Earth is considered feminine in nature.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So it's the masculine and the feminine it's gonna work itself out, right? If it's polarities, if you're going one extreme, eventually we have to go to the other extreme in order to find the balance in the middle. So man, this is like big
way
stuff.
Bigger than I thought it would be.
This is the collective stuff. So
yeah,
it's we're just powerful enough to do it. So all right, so let's clear the collective energy of the toxic masculinity of success, and as a result of that, what has happened, in order to transmute that energy and turn it into something better. I feel like someone wants to speak on behalf of the collective. I feel like I need to channel Donald Trump right now.
I love it. Can you do that, please?
You know, I've done
we saw two totally different images. I love that. That's different.
I haven't done that in years, but I have done that before, so I'm not really surprised by it. But
see, and my whole vision was keeping Excalibur in the ground. I don't know what that.
Keeping a sword in the ground.
Excalibur, like the sword that apparently changed everything for like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and that's how they took over. Like that's how the Roman Empire in the myth they took over, was because the sword was pulled out.
What did the sword represent?
Maybe it was to stop it, because the kind-hearted person could pull the sword out, like the true worthy one. But it was a male that pulled the sword out with like the truth of his heart, but then obviously that person dies and it gets passed down to people that abuse the power of the sword.
Yeah, well, that makes sense to me. A lot of sense. It's like, well, first of all, Archangel Michael has a sword, right? But also, if you don't have the true essence of the heart, you're not going to be able to accomplish really anything authentically and truthfully. It's not going to come from truth, right?
And while like he pulled it out, he was true and authentic, the next person wasn't. You know, so the sword got relinquished out into the world and caused chaos, while Mother Nature was trying to hold on to it, keep it safe.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So what do we do with the sword?
We have to put it back.
We put the sword back?
Yeah.
Okay. Where does it go?
I see like it's like a cave, but it's not dark, but it's definitely in like close to the center core of the earth. And there's like a spot in the middle that comes up that the sword just, you stick it back in there. So
Good. Tell me when it's done.
okay.
Ooh, I can feel that.
Yeah, I was just gonna, it like shook the ground and everything, but it's done.
Good. Okay, Donald Trump is ready to speak.
Oh, good. Let's hear from him.
All right. If you don't know what channeling is, it is the ability to connect with the energy of a person, place, or thing, or time and space, or collective, and just receive that as information. So I'm not consciously speaking these, I mean, I'm speaking, but it's almost as if I'm leaving my body so that the energy can come in, enter me, and come through my mouth. But I'm not deciphering any information. I'm saying it as it is. Okay, so I'm going to channel Donald Trump. Well, first of all, well, he's kind of pissed. See, he feels like he's been wrongly accused of many things.
I was gonna say, he's still in lockdown from social media. This has come back.
I do want to preface this by saying I don't watch the news. I have no idea. I know he's not president anymore.
No,
That's
he's
really
banned from like everything on the planet now.
I have
You
no
can't
idea.
have any social media to ever even see this.
Okay, so I have no idea anything that's going on in real life pertaining to anything. Definitely not politics, but
No.
not news or anything.
Me either.
So he feels like he's been wrongly accused of things, and he wants to set things straight because he does represent a collective consciousness of humans and of energy, of masculinity and authority. All right. I, Donald Trump, would like to explain that I have only done things that I have felt necessary in order to achieve success or goals that I've created for myself. Some people like to project their inequality to achieve things. I feel like inequality is the wrong word. I don't think it's the right word. Sorry, I'm getting yelled at for interrupting. Sorry, okay, step outside of myself. I feel like I've been wrongly accused. I am not this devil or evil person that everyone perceives me to be. I have been and remain authentic and true in my heart and my desire to achieve success. Sure, some things have gone awry, but I always come from my heart. I have a passion to succeed, and I am not willing to overstep boundaries that I've made for myself or that others have created for me. There are times where I smudge the truth, but only for myself, never to harm others. I want to apologize for the way things have happened, and I want to apologize for how I have acted sometimes as a baby. Sorry, it's so strange. I don't think I've ever recorded me as Donald Trump before.
You know, it's super interesting though, because we're doing this collective work. And like, when you think about Donald Trump on a collective level, there were so many people that were Trump followers that no one knew about. It was like this secret collective of people because they were worried about the backlash and physical abuse that came from being with that association. And I feel like he did spark about a true revolution in terms of spiritual awakening and people finally questioning who is in these political roles.
Yeah, I do want to say that I don't support and I'm not anti-Trump. I'm neither.
I'm anti-politics, so I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm over here in my spiritual bubble. Politics are man-made and irrelevant.
Yeah. But your point, I think, is very valid. I think that makes a lot of sense because there are people that are pro or anti. So I feel like he wants to say something else and we can come back.
Okay.
He does want to be recognized for apologizing. And he does want those that oppose him to accept his apology. Can you take the opposing collective and accept his apology coming from that collective?
We forgive you.
Well, I feel that in my heart.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for accepting my apology. I demand I see proof of this in my own relevant experience and have it reflected back to all of you so you can all see that what Jenifer and Kristen have done is real and authentic and coming from the heart. Congratulations on your work. I find improvement in this society important, and I want to be a part of that. Whether or not I am known as the bad guy is irrelevant to me.
One thing I just got with that, I'm so sorry.
Go for it.
The whole, I mean, there were a multitude of reasons people hated Trump, but the main reason people hated Trump because of the things that they found out he did years ago. So
like what? Or maybe we should
not
Okay.
appropriate things for
Okay.
YouTube. However, I wonder if that's part of why he came up is your past doesn't define who you are now. Your past doesn't determine whether you can be president or whether you can be successful. I mean, it does to an extent, but some of these things that came out were just interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some really crappy things in my life, and they're not anywhere close to who I am now.
Exactly. And like, I wonder if that's something holding us back from seeing ourselves as successful because we came, especially those of us that like me and you that have healed through so much. I mean, the collective in general has healed through a lot of stuff this last couple of years.
Good. I feel like that's complete. What were we talking about in the beginning? Fear of success.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we need to put it into something. We transmuted the energy to bring back full circle. We transmuted the energy of toxic masculinity that was successful by putting the sword into the center of the earth.
Yep.
And by accepting the apology that Donald Trump decided to come through as a collective to speak from. And we have accepted his apology for the collective. And now we need to transmute that energy into something better in the moment of space and time that we reside in now. And when he was president. Okay. I know what it is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I just got in the form of the stock market and specifically being cryptocurrency. So
did that actually come into fruition?
Again, because it's already happened.
Right. But like cryptocurrency taking over the financial institutions and getting rid of
well, not necessarily taking over, but having an increase. So
that makes sense.
I would recommend right now buying cryptocurrency.
I think I own Dogecoin. Is that a crypto? I need to research more of this before I buy anything.
Okay, so that feels complete to me.
Yeah. I like that.
collective consciousness. Oh, that makes sense too, because it's a collective thing. So we're all going to benefit from that as a collective. And actually, money is a feminine form of energy because it's a vessel. Money is a vessel for energy. So it is a feminine quality.
Which plays into every podcast we just made today, and the fact that the feminine, it's time to rise.
Okay, so buy cryptocurrency. And if it's going to be different for every person, I used to do this work actually years ago. I specialized in helping people with finances and invest in the stock market, which is where I made a bunch of money, and specifically in cryptocurrency. So, well, majority of it. So if you want help with that, feel free to reach out in the information below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to see Kristen and I, or the many other wonderful people that I'm connected with, speak about all the things healing and whatnot, and bringing the energy here now for not just us, but for everyone. Thank you. Alternatively.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Any last things you want to say?
Buy crypto and don't let your past define your future success.
Yes. We just changed that.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
Bye.